The last part of our assignment is graphing the inequality. And these are so much fun, class. You're going to enjoy this. So you can see Mrs. K has 3 inequalities here. When you have an inequality that says it has a variable, that means that all the answers are going to be A, and all the numbers that we put in for A must be less than 4. So when you're graphing an inequality, the first thing you're going to do is make sure that you have the variable on one side and the number on the other, which Mrs. K has. And then you're going to graph this number. If this is just a greater than or less than sign, you're going to graph an open circle. This is what an open circle looks like. It has space on the inside. So we're going to put the open circle on 4. All right. Now, all the numbers that are less than 4 need to be shown on this graph. So this is how I do it. I'm saying that from this circle all the way back, all these numbers forever and ever, because I have an arrow here, all these numbers are less than 4. Okay, let's do this one down, or do this one here. This inequality sign looks different. When you have an equal sign under it, that means the answer could be 4. So when you graph that, you use what's called a closed circle. You fill it in, because that means 4 can be the answer. And then all the x's, all the numbers that we can put in for x are less than 4. So I'm going to draw this line right here. So both of these inequalities are graphed. Now let's look at this one. C is greater than a -1. So this is the number I'm going to graph. All right, it's by itself on one side. Is it going to be an open circle or a closed circle? In this case, it's going to be an open circle, because -1 is not an answer. So Mrs. K put an open circle on there to show you -1 cannot be the answer. All the answers are going to be bigger than a -1. And so my arrow goes this way. Now let's just say you're at home and you're working on this and you're like, I don't know which way that arrow goes. Well, pick a side and try it. For instance, this arrow goes over this number 2. If I take 2 over here and put it in for Z, is 2 bigger than a -1? Yeah. So I know I went the right way with my arrow. Let's try 3 more. So right away, I see the equal sign under this inequality. So I know I'm going to have a closed point, excuse me, on the number line. So I'm going to find 2, and I'm going to put in my closed circle. That means 2 can be the answer. Now, all my answers are A's. All my answers have to be bigger, because the alligator mouth is open to it, bigger than 2. All the numbers bigger than 2. Well, that would mean 3 would work and 4 would work. So I'm going to graph it like that. The next one, this says 0 is less than or equal to x. That means that I'm going to plot on 0 on the number line. And it has the equal sign under it. So that means it's going to be a closed circle. All right. Now, all my x's are going to be bigger than that. Bigger than that. Well, -2 isn't bigger than that, but 2 is bigger than that. So I'm going to graph my number line that way. Okay, one more. We have the number 1. We have a greater than sign with no equal sign there. So that means it's going to be an open circle on my number line. So I'm going to find 1 and put an open circle. And then all my W's are less than the 1. Less than. So they get smaller. So 0 is smaller and -1 is smaller. Remember, everything to the left on the number line gets smaller. So we're going to graph that inequality that way. All right. I think I've got all of them done for this lesson, Mrs. Zimmerman. Do you have any questions?
I just have one question, actually. So these are a type of problem where it's really easy to check your answer, right? When you're graphing, because you can just put in these numbers for the variable to see if they make the statement true.
That's right. So if we look at this problem up here, the very first one, I can take this 3. This line over these numbers means that every number under this line could be an answer.
Okay.
So I can take 3 over here and put it here. And is 3 bigger than or equal to 2? Sure is. So we know we graphed it right.
Sure. All right. That's kind of cool.
Okay.
Very good.
All right. So class, remember, you're going to do your very best on this, and you need to make sure that you're getting your homework done on time. This lesson we are in week 6,
Yes.
so you need to make sure that you get your things in to Mrs. Zimmerman and I, so we're going to be able to pass you on to 7th grade next year.
Yay.
Yay. Stay well. Thomas, it was great that you were a part of our team today.
Can you say bye?
Bye.
Bye, 6th graders. Stay healthy.
Also wanted to show you his picture before we go, Mrs. K.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. Let me get off my shared screen.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my gosh, it's magnificent. Make
Thomas,
sure he signs it.
Oh, can you put your letter on it?
All righty.
Okay, make sure.
Be good.
We'll see you later. Bye, everybody.